Imagine meeting someone and in an instant, something about them pulls you in. It's not just attraction, but something deeper, a curiosity that sparks inside you, making you wonder, who are they? What's their story? Over time, that curiosity grows into something much stronger, more consuming, and what started as a spark can sometimes spiral into an obsession. But why does this happen? How do we go from being intrigued by someone to losing ourselves in the chase for their affection? Today, we'll dive deep into Machiavelli's dark psychology and explore the 7 levels of female desire. From curiosity to obsession, we'll look at how these stages unfold in the mind and why understanding them can not only change how we see relationships, but how we navigate the emotions that come with them. Let's start with the first stage, curiosity. At the start of any relationship, or even the first time you meet someone, there's a level of curiosity. You don't know them yet, but something about them draws your attention. It might be the way they speak, the way they move, or even the way they carry themselves. It's something subtle, but it leaves you wondering more. It's almost like a spark that catches your eye, but you don't let it burn too brightly yet. This is a time of light interest, when your mind's attention is briefly captured. Think of it like scrolling through your social media feed. You see a post that catches your eye. It's interesting, but it doesn't keep you glued to the screen. You might move on to the next thing. That's curiosity. But curiosity doesn't last forever. It's only the beginning. When curiosity turns into interest, that's when things start to shift. This is the second level, and it's where you start paying closer attention to that person. It's no longer just a passing thought in your mind. It becomes something more substantial. You might find yourself thinking about them when you're not around them. You might even do a little digging, checking out their social media or asking mutual friends about them. You're starting to form an image of who they are. It's like looking at a puzzle with a few pieces missing. You want to know more, to fill in those gaps. But at this stage, you still have control. It's still light and harmless. You're exploring, but not yet consumed. As interest grows, we move into attraction, the third level. This is where things start to get real. You're no longer just intrigued by them. You want them. Your feelings shift, and you start to feel a magnetic pull toward them. It's a deeper, more physical or emotional connection. Attraction doesn't just mean you think they're cute or good-looking, though that's part of it. It's about the way they make you feel when they're around. Maybe their laugh makes you smile, or their words leave you thinking long after you've walked away. You start to imagine what it would be like to be with them, and suddenly you can't stop thinking about them. At this point, you want to see them more, talk to them more, be near them more. And the feeling is mutual, right? Attraction is intense, but it's still in control. But the next step can take you to uncharted territory, obsession. This is where it starts to get tricky. At the fourth level, obsession, you're no longer in control of your feelings. They've started to consume your thoughts. You analyze everything, every conversation, every text, every gesture. What did they mean when they said that? Did they smile differently? Obsession goes beyond attraction. It begins to take over. You replay moments in your mind like a broken record, constantly searching for answers to questions you don't even know you have. At this point, you start to lose perspective. Rationality flies out the window and emotional logic takes over. You might find yourself checking their social media obsessively, wondering who they're with and what they're doing. This is where obsession shifts things. Instead of it being a healthy interest, it becomes all-consuming. And the deeper you fall into this obsession, the harder it becomes to think clearly. Which brings us to the next level, need. This is where things get really dangerous. Now you need this person. It's not just that you want them around anymore. It feels like you can't breathe without them. You crave their attention, their validation, their presence. The thought of them not being in your life starts to feel unbearable. You may notice that your emotions are more unstable when you're not around them. Maybe you feel anxious, irritable, or empty when they're not responding to your messages or when you can't see them. Your happiness starts to depend on their actions, and your mood swings with the slightest change in their behavior. Neediness isn't just about wanting Affection, it's about feeling like you can't survive without it. And the more you need them, the more power you give them over your emotional state. The next stage is dependency, level 6. This is when you start to lose yourself entirely. You depend on this person for your emotional stability, your self-worth, and your happiness. They've become the focal point of your existence, and you can't imagine life without them. You might feel empty or lost without their approval or attention. Everything you do seems to revolve around them. Their words dictate how you feel about yourself. If they compliment you, you're on top of the world. If they ignore you, you're crushed. Dependency is a form of control, but not one that's necessarily exercised by the other person. No, in this stage, you give them that control. You've handed over your power and you don't even realize it. Finally, we reach the 7th and final level, obsession, but in its darkest form. At this stage, you've completely lost yourself. You no longer see the person as an individual with their own needs and desires. You see them as a possession. You think about them constantly, and your entire life revolves around winning their affection, maintaining their attention, and keeping them in your orbit. At this stage, you'll do anything to keep them. The boundaries between love and control blur, and you might find yourself doing things you never thought you would, lying, manipulating, or even harming your own well-being just to keep them close. The obsession is no longer a secret. It's in the open and it consumes your every waking moment. Why does this happen? Why do we go from curiosity to obsession, sometimes without even realizing it? It's the power of desire, the magnetic force that pulls us in and makes us lose control. And while desire can be a beautiful thing, it can also be dangerous when we let it control us. The key to preventing these levels from spiraling out of control is awareness. Recognizing when you're slipping into need or dependency can help you pull back before you lose yourself entirely. Machiavelli's dark psychology teaches us a lot about human behavior, power, and relationships. And by understanding the stages of desire, we can learn to navigate our own emotions and relationships with more wisdom. The next time you feel yourself drawn to someone, ask yourself, where am I on this scale? Am I in control of my feelings, or are they controlling me? If you found this breakdown helpful, leave a comment below. Share your thoughts and subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind. Remember to keep questioning, keep learning, and most importantly, keep growing.